What if I told you that the woman cleaning your office bathroom at 5 a.m. is about to become richer than your boss? That the immigrant you walk past every day without noticing is building something that will make millionaires look like beginners? Maria Santos arrived in America with exactly $50 in her pocket, 2 suitcases, and a 9-year-old daughter. She spoke 3 words of English: hello, thank you, and bathroom. She had no connections, no education beyond elementary school, and no idea that within 7 years she would own a business empire worth $85 million. But here's what makes Maria's story different from every other rags to riches tale you've heard. She didn't get lucky. She didn't inherit anything. She didn't even speak the language. What Maria had was something far more powerful: the ability to see opportunity where everyone else saw impossibility. Today, Maria employs over 400 people across 12 different businesses. Her companies generate $23 million in annual revenue. Fortune 500 executives fly to her headquarters for advice. And it all started with her watching Americans throw away their money while she picked up their trash. By the end of this story, you'll understand exactly how the most underestimated person in America became one of its most successful entrepreneurs, and why her strategy can work for anyone willing to start small and think big. It was December 15th, 2016, when Maria stepped off the plane at JFK Airport. She was 31 years old, escaping an abusive marriage in El Salvador with her daughter Sophia. The $50 in her pocket was literally everything she owned in the world. Maria's sister Carmen had promised to help her get started in New York. But when Maria arrived at Carmen's apartment in the Bronx, reality hit hard. Carmen was struggling too, working 3 cleaning jobs just to afford a 1-bedroom apartment she shared with her own family of 4. That first night, Maria and Sophia slept on the living room floor. Sophia was crying, asking when they could go home. Maria held her daughter and made a promise she had no idea how to keep. "We're going to build something beautiful here, mija. Something that will make you proud." The next morning, Carmen took Maria to her cleaning job at a Manhattan office building. "You can work with me until you figure something out," Carmen said. "The pay is $8 an hour cash." Maria's first day cleaning offices changed her life forever. Not because she loved the work, she hated every minute of scrubbing toilets and emptying trash, but because she started noticing things that no one else saw. In one executive's trash can, she found a printout of an email about canceling a catering order worth $3,000. The executive had written "waste of money" in the margins and thrown it away. In another office, she discovered an entire box of promotional pens that had been discarded because they had a small typo in the company name. Hundreds of perfectly good pens thrown in the dumpster. In the break room, employees would throw away half-eaten lunches worth $15, $20 every day. Premium sandwiches, salads, drinks, all going straight to the garbage. Maria started keeping a mental list of everything Americans threw away that still had value. And slowly, an idea began forming. Maria's breakthrough came 3 weeks into her cleaning job. She was emptying trash in the marketing department when she overheard 2 executives arguing about promotional materials. "We ordered 5,000 t-shirts for the trade show, but they printed the wrong date," one said. "Now they're completely useless. Insurance will cover it, but what a waste." Maria asked Carmen to translate. When she understood what had happened, Maria asked the most important question of her life. "What are they going to do with the shirts?" "Throw them away, I guess," Carmen replied. "Why?" That night, Maria couldn't sleep. She kept thinking about those 5,000 t-shirts. Perfect quality, just the wrong date. In El Salvador, people would line up to buy shirts like that, date or no date. The next day, Maria did something that terrified her. She approached the marketing executive and, with Carmen translating, made an offer. "I will take the shirts off your hands for $50. The executive laughed. "You want to pay us to take our trash? Sure, whatever." Maria had just bought her first inventory. The $50 t-shirt deal taught Maria the most valuable business lesson of her life. One person's trash is another person's treasure. Americans threw away things that people in other communities desperately needed. Maria started small. She took the t-shirts to a Salvadoran community center in Queens and sold them for $3 each. They sold out in 2 hours. Maria had turned $50 into $400. But Maria didn't stop there. She started asking Carmen to help her approach other companies about their waste. Office furniture being replaced, promotional items with minor flaws, electronics that were outdated but still functional. Within 2 months, Maria had collected enough discarded items to fill Carmen's garage. She was making more money from trash than from cleaning offices. The turning point came when Maria discovered electronics recycling. Companies were paying specialized firms to dispose of old computers, phones, and equipment. But Maria realized that many of these items just needed minor repairs to be valuable again. Maria spent her first profits on a basic electronics repair course at a community college. She couldn't understand most of the English, but technology has a universal language. She learned to fix screens, replace batteries, update software. Soon, Maria was buying broken electronics from recycling companies for pennies on the dollar, fixing them in Carmen's garage, and selling them online for 50–60% of retail price. By month 6, Maria was making $3,000 a month from her electronics operation. She quit cleaning offices and rented her first small warehouse in Queens. Maria's genius wasn't in electronics. It was in understanding systems. She realized that waste existed at every level of every industry. She just needed to position herself at the right collection points. Maria's second breakthrough came when she started targeting retail stores. She learned that major retailers destroy returned merchandise rather than resell it, even when items are in perfect condition. Maria offered to dispose of returned items for free, saving retailers the destruction costs. Then she would sort the merchandise. Electronics went to her repair operation, clothing went to community markets, housewares went to discount stores she partnered with. Within a year, Maria had contracts with 23 retail locations. She was processing over $100,000 worth of returned merchandise every month, keeping 40% of the value for herself. But Maria's biggest innovation was creating multiple revenue streams from the same source material. A returned laptop might be repaired and sold for $400, but its packaging could be sold to a packaging company, its manual could go to a paper recycler, and even its plastic components had value. Maria was building an empire on efficiency, extracting maximum value from materials that others saw as worthless. By year 3, Maria had identified the pattern that would make her wealthy. Large companies waste enormous amounts of money because waste disposal is cheaper than optimization. But for someone willing to do the optimization work, that waste becomes profit. Maria expanded beyond retail returns. She started targeting construction companies that threw away perfectly good materials from renovation projects, hotels that replaced furniture on schedule regardless of condition, restaurants that discarded equipment because of minor aesthetic issues, tech companies that destroyed old servers containing valuable metals and components. Each industry had its own waste patterns, its own disposal rhythms. Maria learned them all. More importantly, Maria started hiring people. Not executives or managers, she hired other immigrants like herself. People who understood the value of things that Americans discarded. People who would work as hard as she did because they had the same hunger. Within 18 months, Maria employed 47 people across 4 warehouses. Her monthly revenue had grown to $340,000. Maria's empire exploded in year 5 when she made the leap from collecting waste to preventing it. Instead of waiting for companies to throw things away, Maria started offering to buy their excess inventory before it became waste. She approached manufacturers during slow seasons, retailers during clearance periods, and distributors with overstock situations. Maria offered cash payments for inventory that companies were planning to destroy or deeply discount. This strategy required much larger capital investments, but the margins were incredible. Maria was buying brand new merchandise at 10–15% of wholesale cost, then selling it through her network of discount retailers, online marketplaces, and international exporters. Maria's breakthrough moment came when she landed a contract with a major electronics manufacturer. They had 50,000 tablets that were being discontinued to make room for a new model. The tablets were perfect, just last year's design. The manufacturer was going to destroy them rather than compete with their new model. Maria offered $2 million for the entire lot, roughly $40 per tablet for devices that normally sold for $300. Maria didn't have $2 million, but she had something better. She had proven systems and trustworthy partnerships. She secured a bridge loan using her existing inventory as collateral, bought the tablets, and sold them through her distribution network within 6 weeks. Profit: $1.8 million in 45 days. Maria realized she wasn't just in the waste business anymore. She was in the efficiency business, helping large companies monetize assets they couldn't figure out how to sell themselves. Today, Maria's business empire spans 12 different companies across multiple industries. Her flagship company, Efficient Assets Recovery, has contracts with over 300 Fortune 500 companies. Her secondary business, Latino Market Solutions, operates 67 retail locations across the Northeast. Her third venture, Tech Renewal Systems, is one of the largest electronics refurbishing operations on the East Coast. But Maria's proudest achievement isn't her wealth, it's her workforce. She employs over 400 people, 90% of them immigrants or first-generation Americans. She pays above-market wages and provides full benefits, including English classes and business training. Maria created the opportunities for others that didn't exist when she arrived. Sophia, the 9-year-old girl who cried on that living room floor, is now 16 and speaks 3 languages fluently. She interns at her mother's companies during summers and has already started her own small business selling refurbished phones to her classmates. Carmen still works in the business, but now she manages one of Maria's warehouses and earns more in a month than she used to make in a year cleaning offices. Maria moved her mother from El Salvador to a beautiful house in New Jersey. The woman who once feared her daughter had made a terrible mistake now brags to neighbors about her businesswoman daughter. Maria's story isn't about luck or special advantages. It's about perspective. While everyone else saw trash, Maria saw treasure. While others saw waste, Maria saw opportunity. While others saw problems, Maria saw solutions. Her message to other immigrants is simple. America throws away more opportunity than most countries create. Your job isn't to compete with Americans for American opportunities. Your job is to create opportunities that Americans don't even see. Maria's empire started with $50 and a willingness to pick up what others threw away. It grew because she understood that in a wasteful society, the person who eliminates waste becomes wealthy. The woman who cleaned your office bathroom became the CEO who could buy the building. And her success proves that in America, invisible doesn't mean impossible. It means you have access to opportunities that visible people miss. If Maria could build an $85 million empire from $50 and a language barrier, what's stopping you from starting with whatever you have right now?